Okay, folks, so let's dive right in and let's talk about what you can do, male or female, what you can do to alleviate or lessen a lot of the symptoms that are happening through menopause for women and andropause for men. And again, really just understand this, that the symptoms are so gosh darn similar to the point where some of them are actually identical. Even though for men, andropause again is a dropping or a lowering of testosterone levels and then how the body is reacting or responding to that. And for females, it's the lowering of estrogen and an imbalance between progesterone and estrogen. So the symptoms overall are so gosh darn similar. There's some variations in that. So for instance, without being too graphic, but we're all adults here, right? For men, part of andropause doesn't have to be, but can be, excess body fat through the chest. So we start seeing guys start to develop more of a breast position than what we would consider a normal chest position, yeah? And then for women, it's actually a loss of the fat tissue and the muscle tissue in the breast, right? So it's actually a lessening there. So slightly different, but overall it's still something that's affecting the chest and that chest muscle fat ratio and tissue. So, and that's just one similarity. There's tons and tons and tons of them. So let's talk about what's causing it and understanding that part of what's causing a lot of these symptoms is actually then saying, how do we just change that so that it's not, or in a sense, we can't use the word cure, I'll get in trouble for that, but certainly lessen a lot of the symptoms, okay? So the first thing you have to understand is that your body is never lying. Your body is telling you, it's a great lie detector, it's telling you exactly what you're doing to it and what you're giving to it. So I'm always talking about, on a very holistic and integrated level, everything that has to do with your body has to do with your lifestyle and what you're putting into your body. So I've actually developed courses, and one is called the Easy Health Formula. And within that course, the 6 components to health and wellness. And these 6 components are, interestingly enough, if you look at almost any illness, disease, or issue that's going on with the body, there is some kind of maladjustment in these 6 components, meaning you're not doing them optimally, and so you're getting suboptimum reactions through the body. So if you go on and you look at things that you can do to help with menopause, things that you can do to help with andropause, lessen the symptoms, etc. What's very interesting is the 4 or 5 things they actually tell you are the 6 components to health and wellness, the Easy Health Formula. So what are they? Well, one of the first things you have to do is you have to start really, and I know this is going to be a challenge, but you really have to start becoming aware of how critical nutrition is so that your body can heal itself. So for instance, things that are going to make your symptoms worse and bring on heavier signs of andropause and menopause are sugar intake, alcohol, processed foods, heavy carbohydrate use, I'm blanking out, medications. All these things contribute to the toxic load on your body. Now, things like sugar, in the form of whether it's sugar, the way we think of that, or cakes and candies and cookies and pastries and all those wonderful things, and breads and pastas and potatoes and blah, 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 and all that stuff, the complex carbohydrates that are very starchy, or things like alcohol. And then again, if you look at things like processed foods, they have a lot of junk in them, including sugars and starches, etc. That causes a hormonal response or reaction, and a lot of it is insulin and cortisol that's going on back and forth. that can then affect all your other hormonal systems and organs, glands, etc., including your thyroid. So one of the first things they'll tell you on their list of things to omit is alcohol and sugar. Now, what's interesting is they won't talk about grains. They'll say eat a healthy eat a healthy diet with lots of fiber and grains, etc. However, that will actually contribute to most of your symptoms. So what do you truly want to be doing? You want to really pack nutrition into your body through high quality protein, high quality fat, high quality vegetables, and then you want to look at and when I say high quality, we're talking about grass-fed, wild-caught fish, grass-fed beef and chicken and eggs and all that kind of stuff, right? High quality stuff. Same thing with your fats, same thing with your vegetables, organic, no synthesized fertilizers and rodenticides and pesticides and oh my, all that kind of stuff, right? Okay, that alone can go a huge way into increasing your testosterone levels, keeping your estrogen levels higher, and decreasing the symptoms of andropause and menopause. Now, a couple other things. Stress is huge. Stress is a major contributor, more than you would know. That's another thing. So we want to lessen your stress. So what can you do for that? All the things that we talk about. First of all, it's understanding that most of your stress in your life, the mental, emotional stress, is all based on your self-image, who you believe yourself to be. It is brutal because our self-images are saying what we like and what we don't like. And when something goes against that, what we do like or don't like, that's when stress comes into our life. And it's happening all the time. So learning, and I work with clients at a very deep level with this, really getting them to recognize, can you see what's literally going on where all this emotional stress is coming from? And you can let go of it once you start learning this. So stress is critically important to get that out of your life. Something else, sleep, sleep, sleep. I tell all you guys, you need deep, restful sleep. Why? Because it's when you sleep, during that deep REM sleep, that your body is actually healing itself, and when it's releasing testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, DHEA, growth hormone, immune function, at night, that's when your body's healing and releasing all this amazing hormone. So it's important for you to be getting deep, restful sleep. I have all my clients, that's one of the first things I make sure they're doing. And if they're not doing it, it's obvious. So think about this. If you're not getting deep, restful sleep, and studies have shown that if you get 6 hours or less, you're more prone to adding more body fat onto your body. So here's another thing we can talk about, especially just as much for women, but especially for men, and testosterone levels. If you carry extra body fat on, especially around your waistline, what we call your adipose tissue, which is the muscle, or excuse me, the fat that's just under the skin. So there's adipose fat tissue, and then there's visceral fat. Visceral fat is the fat that's around your organs. The adipose is the stuff that's around your waistline and on your body, etc. Yeah, that's under the skin. Well, that fat is a living organism, and it creates or produces a hormone that's called aromatase. And aromatase actually converts testosterone into estrogen, which is really challenging for men. So that alone, it's not that just that your testosterone is lowering, but if you have all this extra adipose fat tissue on your body, let's say 20 pounds or more, you're more prone to whatever testosterone you do produce is going to start being converted into estrogen. And that's bad for guys. Okay? So something else you want to think about. What we call endocrine disruptors are chemicals that are converted into the body into estrogen. So you've heard of BPAs, right? That BPA, when we talk about plastic bottles, we don't want to be taking those in, because those BPAs are endocrine disruptors. and will create an estrogen increase in your body, male and or female. If you're using processed foods, things out of cans, the lining of those cans, those are endocrine disruptors also. So soy is very high in estrogen in a sense. So men, you should not be eating soy. And I would tell you, even for women, even if you're going through menopause, these are not good things to be taking in, because we have to balance out your estrogen with your progesterone. That's part of what has to happen. What else can I tell you? Smoking, no good. We already took caffeine, not good if you're having trouble with your hormones, okay? We've talked spicy food. Now, when we're talking about hot flashes, spicy food, that's an issue also. Same thing with smoking. Same thing with caffeine. Same thing with stress. You want to limit and take these things out. They're not helping your body. Now, here's the challenge. Your self-image is going to go, but I want my caffeine. I want my coffee. I want my glass of wine at night. I want my chocolate. I want my ice cream. It's all, I got to be able to live. But that's the whole point. You're not living. You're actually dying when you do this to the body. Remember, your body is telling you every moment by how it's feeling and by what it's giving you and doing, it's telling you exactly what you're putting into it. So the inputs are being expressed through the body. So if you're having hormonal challenges, if you're having illnesses, if you're dealing with disease, or if you're dealing with everything from like allergies and migraines and menstrual cycles that are all out of whack, and oh my God, moods and everything that happens, right? That we look at and we go, I don't want this. I hate this. It's because of what the inputs that you're putting in and the level that you're putting them in at. It's very, very, very important for you guys to grasp this. Health and fitness and well-being are easy. They are easy, easy, easy. It's your self-image that's getting in the way of saying, well, I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to eat healthy. I want to be able to have my cake and eat it too, as they say. But you can't have your cake and have good hormone levels. You can't have all your alcohol and have good hormone levels. Exercise is critically important, because exercise, especially when you're hitting the big muscle groups, your glutes, those beautiful butts, right? Your hamstrings, your quads, the big muscle groups. Do all of your body, but those big muscle groups are important because that stimulates the production of hormone levels, especially when you do what we call HIIT training, or high intensity interval training. We've talked about that before. So now, depending on where you are, you might not be capable of doing HIIT training right now, especially if you're having musculoskeletal dysfunction, disc issues. However, when we rehab you, we can move you through rehabilitation and getting you up to the point where you're doing HIIT training, because every bout of HIIT training increases those beautiful hormones: estrogen, progesterone, DHEA, testosterone, growth hormone, immune function. This is critical. So alleviating the signs and symptoms, or lessening them, the signs and symptoms of andropause and menopause, is actually pretty darn simple. You have to give the body what it needs to heal, and then it will do the rest for you. So you have to give it good exercise. You have to have high quality nutrition. You have to stay hydrated. You have to get deep quality sleep. You have to get the stress out of your life. You got to learn how to breathe deep. Now, I know you're going to be walking away going, well, that just seems like a lot. I don't really know what to do or how to do it. That's okay. That's why I'm here. This is why I do what I do. I do this with all my clients. And I live this. I do this for myself, so I know it works. If you truly want to do this, if you're dealing with menopausal issues, if you're dealing with andropausal issues, if you're just dealing with hormonal issues, even if you're in your 20s and 30s, if you're exhausted, if you're having fatigue, if it's hair loss or hair thinning, if you're saying, oh, my skin looks older than it should, if you're having digestive issues, all these things that go on, right? Irregular menstrual cycles, low libido, impotence or impotence, all these kind of things for both sides, by the way. That's understandable. If you're having trouble with conceiving, the reason that the body isn't conceiving is because the body's saying, I'm not healthy enough to carry this through. But all this can be changed by integrating these easy lifestyle practices. And all it is just getting used to doing these things. And it's so worth it. It's so, so worth it. And so if you're really interested, first of all, I want to hear all about this kind of stuff. If you think I'm crazy, go, Dave, you're crazy, and put it in the messages below, and I'll have a response for you, yeah? However, let me know what you're going through. Again, send me a private email if you want. If not, you can send it right through the normal one on Facebook, or go to holistichealth-fitness.com, send me an email, or call me on the phone, and we can talk, all right? And if you really want to step into this, guess what, guys? I have the Easy Health Formula. It's an online course. So no matter what you're dealing with, we can use this online course where we can work one-to-one each week together, 1 day a week. For 6 weeks, you'll learn the program. And then from there, you can either go off and do it on your own, or if you want more coaching, we can go into advanced coaching of the Easy Health Formula and really make sure you're integrating this stuff and doing this on a daily basis and getting the results and having this amazing life. You do not have to suffer with hormonal issues. You do not have to suffer, okay? So it's now in your hands. All you have to do is reach out. I'm holding my hands out to you guys. All you have to do is take my hand, and I will happily take your hand and show you along this path, okay? So tomorrow we're going to go even deeper into it. We'll talk more and more and more about this kind of stuff. Send me your questions, and we can actually answer them on the video. That would be awesome, okay? So if you have questions, please send them along. So until then, take good care of yourself, and I'm coming in close. Remember, I love your guts. Take good care, guys. Bye.